The savage beauty of the arid Negev desert heightens the senses as well as one's self-awareness. Alone with nature and with God, silence accompanies the wind-swept wadis once inhabited by generations gone by. Ibex expertly navigate the rock face, and water is so precious for life and existence. This is a geological ecosystem rarely seen or experienced. Multicolored rocks are God's rustic artistry in the southernmost border of the ancient Israelite nation. The quiet isolation is an escape from our modern world. My personal journey of the Nabatean Incense Route has taken years. I wanted to retrace the paths of the ancient Nabateans to feel the rigors of their ancient trek, which is of biblical proportion. Their stronghold, Petra, wasn't even discovered until 1812, upon pain of death to any foreigner who tried to infiltrate its hidden treasures. Today, we get to experience this privilege once again. Their caravans navigated through this mysterious frontier to bring the heady aroma of spices from the Orient to the rest of the world. These masters of the desert were a nomadic tribe trading their luxurious wealth for 700 years, from the 3rd century BC onward. Then, quite mysteriously, the Nabateans disappeared in the 4th century CE. Two major routes moved westward from the Rift Valley and within Eretz Israel, forming a northern and southern approach to the Mediterranean Sea to Gaza. Now considered a UNESCO World Heritage, many of these structures are impossible to access without off-road vehicles. Even with that modern convenience, it's sometimes hard going. Purposely hidden from view in the wadis, these fortresses, towns, and caravanserais offered rest for the arduous camel trains, as well as the life-giving waters so expertly channeled. These fascinating, luxurious, and fragrant commodities graced the Jewish temple. The ancients used frankincense and myrrh to heal affliction, add them to wine, and to embalm the dead for burial. I'm filled with admiration of their planning, strength, and resolve to ply such treacherous passages. Traveling through the Negev portion of the ancient incense route from Yemen to Gaza is to experience the discovery of brilliant Nabatean fortifications and water management. Some of the fortresses guard junctions to the wadis, giving far-reaching vantage points. They erected dams and channels at critical junctures to harness sparse rainfalls, collecting them in cisterns. In the Hebrew Bible, Solomon paints a sense of the incense trade in the Song of Songs, saying, "What is this coming up from the wilderness like columns of smoke, perfumed with myrrh and frankincense, with all scented powders of the merchants?" Original milestones still line the ancient path, since the desert hardly changes over the millennia. They guide the weary traveler to the next safe haven. One of the steepest climbs for the caravans was this ascent to Mahmal Fortress. The north wall of the giant crater Machtesh Ramon loomed before them. The view of the crater from here is one of the most stunning panoramas, offering a vista of where we just traveled. A reservoir marks the trail. The ancient path, with several milestones, was only recently discovered. Portions of the route are almost inaccessible. Combined with the summer heat, the projection of rocky paths make traversing the route highly challenging. Maps and GPS are a modern requirement since it's so easy to get lost. Those caravans had to know exactly where they were going, like pilots in the sea of the desert. The Queen of Sheba, with her entourage and many camels, gifted King Solomon with spices, gold, and precious stones. She was so impressed by Solomon's wisdom that the queen gave him 120 talents of gold, precious stones, and the largest quantity of spices ever brought to Jerusalem. We had to be intentional to visit our next obscure site, so close to Road 40. Magorah was named after the cistern, with its snake-like stone-heaped channel to deliver water. Strategically important with 4 towers, it guarded the entire Besor Valley system on the way to the coast. One of my favorite pristine locations is at Shivta. It's a pure gem with 3 immaculate Byzantine churches. Conversion to Christianity marked an unexpected religious artistry, seemingly springing up in the middle of nowhere. The ornately carved lintels are still so well preserved. Parts of this journey today require permission from the army since it's a live fire zone. Very close to the modern Israeli Gaza-Egypt border, Nitzana is not far from the oasis of Kadesh Barnea and on the way to the Mediterranean coast. I wonder if the merchants of antiquity began to catch the occasional scent of sea air as a promise of goods delivered to their destination. The next stop at Halutza is challenging. It's now an active military live fire zone and permission is required. At the penultimate site of their journey, the scouts must have known about the pools of Ein Habasol. Like their modern counterparts, I'm sure that they anticipated an oasis of refreshment. There would be celebration and satisfaction with the end of their trek in sight. The second trail of the Incense Route heads north from the Rift Valley. Even here at Hatzeva, the British established a strategic headquarters. But the ancient city gate dates back to the time of Solomon's era. From there, the broken remote road up Ma'ale Akrabim, or Scorpion Ascent, is the steep and rugged path joining Nahal Tzin and the southern limits of the Promised Land mentioned in the book of Joshua. It's possible to hike up the Roman road on the steep cliff with the trail's 3 citadels. I so appreciate this historical and authentic access to the next outpost of our journey. My final approach to the most northern Nabatean town, Mamshit, emerges in spectacular fashion. It's a hub of modern hikers, and there's even a place to stay overnight. The wealthy Nabateans, who colonized it, also erected several churches with stunning mosaics. When the Messiah establishes his kingdom, the prophet Isaiah relates, "A multitude of camels will cover you. The young camels will bring gold and frankincense and will bear good news of the praises of the Lord." They dammed up the wadi incrementally to harness the rainwaters and flash floods. It's so enjoyable to investigate these numerous ancient structures surrounded by the waxy leaves of desert vegetation. As the journey advances to its completion at Gaza, even today a different kind of convoy reaches the final destination with precious cargo in the midst of realities of modern complex politics.